Priya Khara, and currently I'm pursuing my masters in neurophysiotherapy. Thank you so much, PhysioPanda, for giving us such an amazing opportunity. Platforms like this really motivates and encourages students like us who really wants to learn new things and share new knowledge. So thank you so much, sir, for giving this opportunity. For today's video, I thought to discuss my small clinical observation of two patients where I could see the effect of myofascial release, the positive effects of myofascial release in neurological condition. So in case 1, Mr. XYZ of 65-year-old male suffering with a known medical diagnosis of right MSK infarct and left-sided hemiparesis came to our OPD after 2 months of his stroke attack, and his chief complaint was that he was not able to use his left upper limb in his daily activities, and he was left-sided dominant. So he was facing real problem in doing his activities of daily life. After his examination, his tone in shoulder flexors was 1, elbow flexors was 1+, pronators was 1, wrist flexors was 1+ according to modified Ashworth scale. Biceps jerk was exaggerated, supinator jerk was also 3+, which was exaggerated, and his scapular mobility was also restricted, and there was severe weakness in scapular muscles. There was clear winging of the scapula seen, and the glenohumeral rhythm was also obliterated, and the on VCA the overall upper limb was grade 3, where he could perform the movement, but there was abnormal synergy pattern. So normally according to a normal hemiplegic, the typical hemiplegic patient, he also came with a typical hemiplegic like the flexor synergy pattern, where he came to OPD with shoulder adducted, elbow flexed, forearm supinated, wrist and fingers in flexion. So it was a typical hemiplegic hand patient with spasticity. So after his brief assessment and clinical assessment for neuro assessments, we started his neurophysiotherapy, which include protocols for normalizing his tone, for gaining the tone back, for gaining the strength back, and we also included scapular mobility in it. So we gained results after doing all this neurotherapeutic skills, but the only problem I could face was that it was really taking longer time to achieve the results, and plus the major problem for me was that there was no carryover. There was very less of the carryover of a treatment in one therapy session to the another therapy session. So for me it was really difficult to progress from one session to another session. So for this I thought to start a myofascial release for his upper limb tonal abnormalities, and to see the effect of myofascial release using ISTM tools and cupping, and see the effect on it. So actually before starting the therapy, I went through the literature if I get any where they state the positive effects of myofascial release in neurological conditions, but there was real scarcity of the literature where the effects of myofascial release was found in neurological conditions. There were a lot of literatures articles which stated positive effects of myofascial release in various other musculoskeletal conditions, but in neurological conditions there was real scarcity of the literature. So on mere trial and error basis, I thought to start myofascial release using ISTM tools and cupping, and I started to give my myofascial release. So as sir always taught us in the workshop that various therapeutic modalities should only be an adjunct to your treatment and not the major chunk of your treatment. So my therapy session was always divided, where the starting of the therapy always included myofascial release using ISTM tools and cupping, followed by various neurotherapeutic skill exercises. So it was not only myofascial release. So this I gave him this release for about 20 days to 20 to 25 days, and followed by exercises. But the myofascial release was not given every day, it was given after a break of 3 to 4 days. So on day 1 I started giving myofascial release in his biceps, on his flexor component of forearm, on wrist flexors and intrinsic hand muscles. So this protocol was carried out every 3 to 4 days, and in between the patient would always perform we would always perform various neurotherapeutic skill exercises. And after 20 to 25 days I could really see a change in his movement. Basically the quality of the movement really improved. The synergy pattern was really there was almost negligible synergy pattern which patient would go into, and and there was better carryover of a treatment to the next treatment session. So this is the one case where I could really find positive inputs from myofascial release for treating neurological condition. And a similar case of Mr. ABC of 80-year-old, again having right MCA infarct, left sided hemiparesis, but he had come very early for the treatment. Immediately after his stroke attack he had joined our OPD for the treatment, and but his chief complaint was that he wants to ambulate independently in his house at least. So basically we had to keeping his chief complaint in mind, we had to focus on his lower limb more than his upper limb, and he had severe hamstring tightness in his lower limb. So as the first clinical case scenario, I always started my therapy session by giving ISTM tools and cupping on hamstrings, followed by various neurotherapeutic skill exercises. And even in that case I could find positive results and basically the myofascial release using ISTM tools and cupping really helped me to gain faster results. More than positive results, I could achieve my results faster, and obviously that would make patients happier. But obviously I cannot just conclude on my mere just 2 case observations, and we really need a big RCT on this, where we could really see the effect of myofascial release in various neurological conditions, especially in pediatrics, where for normalizing the tone, stretching is really contraindicated in spastic die, in various pediatric conditions. So the future scope would be always where we find more literature, more articles which states the positive effects of myofascial release in neurological conditions as well. And before concluding my session, I would really like to thank Sir for giving us this amazing opportunity. I just have a very small conversation. I had a very small conversation with Sir. Just mere 3 days of conversation with Sir during workshop. Really, Sir, you really changed my perspective towards looking towards the patient, and it really helped me make a better therapist. I'm still trying to be a good therapist, but your kind words of knowledge really helped me to change my perspective towards my patients. So thank you so much for this, and thank you, Sir, for always inspiring and motivating me to excel myself. Thank you so much, Physio Panda, for giving us such an amazing opportunity. Thank you.